Welcome to the Signatures and Finishers podcast. I'm your host, D.S. Walt. Joining me today, as always, my brother, my partner, my homie, Jamie. Um, so we're going to let it fly today because if you watch night, you know what? Take away, Jamie, from night one. I,
You
I
know,
can't.
it's,
This
you just set it up for me to be the bad guy all the time. That's what it is. You just want me to air it all out, and then you
Okay,
just get
fine.
to
Okay.
come in.
Okay. No, no, no. See, there's no good guy, bad guy. There's no good guy, bad guy. So I ain't gonna bullshit everybody. Night one of WrestleMania sucked ass.
Uh-huh.
I can't even put it any type of way. Night two of WrestleMania saved WrestleMania weekend for everybody who was in attendance, everybody who watched. Night two is what night one was supposed to be.
And night two wasn't exactly mind blowing either.
I mean, if I probably give it 8 out of 10. Night two was
Eh.
not a bad show. Night two was not a bad
No,
show.
night two
I
wasn't
can't.
bad, but it had it. Even with night two being far better than night one, it was still a C minus at best show overall. That's how bad night one was.
Night one was incomplete.
I mean, not even taking the wrestlers out of it, the performances, the storylines, anything else. When you have under an hour of actual wrestling, now some people were complaining about the entrances taking too long. That's part of what WrestleMania is the pageantry, and it's all the stuff that you watch wrestling for. Watch wrestling for the over the top nature of everything. Biggest surprise. What was your biggest surprise for all of WrestleMania?
Don't have any bigger surprise for this
I have
past
two.
this rest.
I have two.
What's your two?
That the Jade Rhea match was actually watchable. That was my biggest surprise, honestly, because I was fully expecting it to be one of the worst matches of all time. Jade actually showed that she might actually figure out how to be a wrestler at some point. So that was
Jay did pretty damn good.
actually looked pretty good. Rhea
Yeah,
did not look good as per usual now. Somebody needs to have a heart to heart talk with her and tell her she needs a new finisher.
I think with the first
She
time, yeah, the
absolutely
first time she
needs a
did
new
it,
one.
yeah, the first time she did it on Jay, she struggled. You can tell like she couldn't. You know how like some people resist, like okay, it's not time yet.
Hmm.
She literally struggled trying to do it. The second time, she got it. She got it up. She got her in
But she only
ripcord,
got
and
her
she
to
did
like
her
hip
thing.
height.
Yeah,
It's that's not the how that slam is supposed to be a high angle to make it because it doesn't look impressive if it's not coming from a high angle. It
but
like somebody has to have a heart to heart with her and be like, you need to adapt Danhausen's finisher or something. Just make it a big boot kick and call it a wrap.
I think what it is though is that it's easier to pick up wrestlers that's smarter than she is. That's not
Well,
big. It's
100%.
easier to
It's
do that. But she do need to adapt to different finisher where she wrestling someone like Jay or Naya
yeah,
into a different move because that's not going to work.
yeah.
And even if they assist you, it's still gonna look awkward. It's an accident waiting to happen. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
It's an accident waiting to happen. But other than that, that match was good. And the reason why I'm not surprised by that is because I had a feeling that James was gonna step up and do the job, and she did the job. I can't. In every match that she did, that we can go ahead and break down, say she did this wrong, she had this botch, this wrong, this botch. I had no complaints about Jade Cargill in her match. She
No, it
wrestled
was that's
good.
why I said it. It was
Yeah,
my biggest surprise that it was
yeah,
actually a watchable
yeah.
match.
And it
Um,
kind of makes you wonder that, damn, she could have done this all the time.
mhm.
And maybe it goes back to what I believe and what a lot of people believe. I don't blame Jade Cargo for how to hurt. I don't blame her for a title run. Just like I don't blame Tiffany for a title run. Triple H and all those
There's
guys
nothing to
in
blame
credit.
Tiffany about for her title run. Hers was amazing.
It was horrible.
Tiffany's title run was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Hold on, wait. Let me finish. Let me tell you why though. I kind of feel that the creative team failed the ladies division 100%.
Well, of
percent
course it
They failed.
has.
Yeah, they failed the title runs of Jade Cargo and Tiffany Stratton. What I mean with Tiffany is Tiffany might you might feel that she had a great title run and she had some nice matches, but on the Cradle side they failed her. They didn't give her enough time with that title. When they put it on Jade, they just gave it to Jade. Hey, just go ahead and continue what Tiffany and others did before you. But they
Well,
title
that's
run
because
sucked too.
Triple H has got a hard on for Black China, and he couldn't
Right,
wait to put the belt on.
right. For 100 days, she didn't defend that title.
I'm very well
For
aware.
100 days, and they failed the ladies. They failed Jade Cargo title run. And I know people out here criticizing Jade, but let me tell y'all something. We can sit here and talk about how bad a wrestler she is and how she doesn't work safe. She proved that this on yesterday that hey, when she
I'm not going to
put
say
her
she
mind
proved
into
it.
it, when
I'm
she
saying
put her
it
mind
was a good
into it,
match.
yeah, no, I'm just saying when she put her mind into it, and when she really wanted to, she did it. And two, we can say anything we want. We can never doubt the confidence of Jay Carter. We can never doubt the confidence with that woman. I like the part when she came down to the entrance and she was just talking shit to everybody on TV and in the stands, all her haters and all that. She was letting everybody have it.
And she
I mean,
lost. So,
yeah, yeah, I love it. And
again, WrestleMania with their whole if the champion comes out first, they're going to lose. Like, I don't know why they still do that. It's always been a dead giveaway. If the champion comes out first, they're losing the match.
I didn't, you know what? That's true. I didn't have a problem with the champion coming out first, especially with Jade, because this is kind of really her first WrestleMania in the big moment that she was in. I
It's
didn't
her
mind
third
it.
WrestleMania. She gets a
No, no,
big
no.
moment every time she's in WrestleMania.
Her big moment like this, big moment like
Yeah,
this
and she
is.
wore the most ridiculous entrance attire of all time.
But she looked good wearing it.
No, she didn't.
She looked very good wearing it.
Once that whole thing came off and she was in her ring attire, then yes. That other thing before it looked like one big long flowing strand of hair. It was
Hey
ridiculous.
man, don't
But either way,
don't.
that was my biggest surprise. Second biggest surprise is that it only took Obafemi a minute and 50 seconds, 56 seconds from the time his music hit to getting both feet in the ring.
I
Only
did
a
see
minute and
that. I
56
did
seconds.
time it. I did time
I told you I would, and I did. And then my baby went nuclear, so I basically missed almost the entire match and had to rewatch it.
it.
Um,
you you know the one. Actually, there's one thing I am surprised about is that night two flowed a lot better than night one.
mhm.
Don't get me wrong. Am I over enthusiastic about having 6 matches on the WrestleMania card for night two? No, I kind
No, it
of
was
felt
over at like 9:25 or something,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Well, eight
this should
twenty
have
five.
been
My
going
fault.
on for like another hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Could it have been about 2 3 more matches? Yes, it could have been. But either way, that be nitpicking. I I like the flow on night two. Night two it made sense. Night one we was bombarded with 60% of commercials. We got like almost an hour 15 worth of matches. That I'm just being nice when I say hour 15 because it kind of really felt less than that.
Actual wrestling time was less than an hour.
Okay, there you go. Don't night two, we got bombarded by commercials. And like you pointed out, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Dragon Lee did not get an entrance live on TV because it happened right there in the commercial. I think they need
Night
to fix
one,
that.
wasn't there like a 45-minute gap?
Yes. Yeah.
And see, so obviously dealing with the baby, me and Susie trading off and everything. Baby was going nuclear on night one, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I had to have missed something. And I'm looking at the matches, I'm like, I watched
No,
all
you
the
didn't.
matches,
You saw all the
and
matches.
so I had to go on Facebook, and people were like, there was a 45-minute gap
Yeah.
between, and I was like, well, at least it happened then during the gap. But what did you get? Maybe a dark match if you got tickets? Like, what are you doing? If you bought tickets, like you got time to go sit in a concession line for a half hour, go take a piss, go
Mm-hmm.
get in another concession line, and then still get to your seat, and you didn't miss anything. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. See, this is what happens when you let corporate get involved your night one again like it did last year, and this is what you
Well,
get.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking shots at any of the performers, any of the talent whatsoever. TKO is going to destroy that company.
Yeah,
If you want to see the definition of how TKO will destroy that company, just look up how Sears went out of business.
yeah.
If you're
It's
bored,
funny
for anybody
how
watching, Google how did Sears go out of business? And that's basically what TKO is starting to do.
yeah, it's funny how they say that TKO is in debt because of UFC, and they kind of using the WWE and all these damn commercials, even though ESPN is also involved on these commercials here, trying to make money, pay their bills, so they can do the advertising. But yeah,
TKO got too many
TKO's in debt.
kids. TKO's got too many kids to feed.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And yet UFC, the fighters don't get paid anything, and they're still somehow in debt. Like, how does that even make sense?
Yeah, because Dan White's pocketing all the money.
Well, of course he is. He's too busy invested in Power Slap, which is again one of the dumbest things of all time. But
Yeah, I'm like you, man. I can't. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna criticize the talent because they worked their ass off. They did what they had to do. It's unfortunate that night one talent wasn't able to have that opportunity to have enough time to tell their story of their matches. I mean, every match seems like, oh man, it could have added extra 5 to 6 minutes to all the matches on
well,
night one.
some of it just didn't make sense. The Jacob and Drew match for being, oh, it's a non-sanctioned match. We're gonna do this. That was probably the most boring match of the entire show.
And it shouldn't have
And
been.
it should not have been a non-sanctioned. Like, first off, a non-sanctioned match, that's a total story scripted thing, because there's no way they would ever do a non-sanctioned match. And if you were to do one, you need to make it seem real. You need to have fans getting involved, getting, Drew gets shoved into some plants. Obviously they'd be NIL guys, or some of these guys that are on the WWEID program or something. You have to have fans, because that's the whole point, is that everything is, we're not covering any of this. We're not ensuring anything. So whatever happens, happens. They didn't do anything like that. The biggest thing, oh, there's a toolbox in the ring. Drew's scared now. Like, Jacob won. We all knew Jacob was going to win. Drew gets screwed again. That's just WWE's lot in life for Drew, is that you're just there to make everybody else look better, even though you're probably our best hands down performer in all aspects of everything that we do. But
Yeah.
the match itself was completely lackluster. For being a non-sanctioned match, you would think if there was one match out of both nights that would have been blood and just a mess, it should have been that match.
Yeah.
And there was
It's
nothing.
yeah. The producer of that match really let us down.
It was Bobby Roode, I think.
Out of all people,
Yeah,
you would think he would know that. Hey, we're gonna need some blood. We're gonna need some. Unsanctioned match is another word of a fancy hardcore match.
yeah.
Another fancy word for a street fight.
That's why when they announced it as a non-sanctioned match, I'm like, unless you're really going to take this to the level that it would need to be an unsanctioned match, it's just call it a hardcore match. Say it's a no DQ match. Falls Count Anywhere would have been more enticing than what that was.
Last man standing.
Yeah, last man standing match would have been great. I quit match, that would have been great.
I
Like,
was yeah. I was expecting a fight in the back.
and
They
just like the
did it.
street fight with Dominic and Finn. For what?
That
One kendo stick?
that felt like a regular match, not like a
Yeah,
street fight. And don't get it twisted. We are happy that the demon came back. We're happy that in 3 years that he brought that character back and he looked as dominant as ever. But if you want to make this to a street fight, and let's go take this to the street. Let's go fight in by the concession stands. Let's go fight in the back. Let's fight in the crowd. Let's go fight where we go park the cars at. That's a street fight.
yeah.
And
But
guess
like,
what? And
again,
that's also a unsanctioned fight too.
you had less than an hour of actual wrestling on night one. With entrances and everything, I think you were at like an hour and 20 some minutes. You
Each
had
entrance,
almost minute for minute as many commercials as you did actual wrestling time.
it kind of felt like Triple H told the talent, "Hey, don't be bullshitting. Now here was your entrance. Get to the point, get to the ring, and let's get this started." Compared to
What's the
as the
rush? Like, did you have a hard out at 7 o'clock or something at Allegiant Stadium each night? Like again, we did it a couple shows ago when I asked you $1,000, would you go watch this match? Knowing that you were going to get those match times,
Mm-hmm.
would you have spent $500?
Nope. No.
One of those matches was 7 minutes long,
And it
and I think
feels.
another one was 8 or 9 minutes.
I can't remember what match it was. I think the championship match, they said it was like 14 minutes.
The longest matches were Gunther and Seth,
Yeah, and
Roman and CM Punk, and Cody
mm-hmm.
and Orton.
Yeah,
Cody and Orton
that
was 23 minutes. That's the only one I remember off the top of my head was 23 minutes.
Roman Punk was kind of long too.
Roman and Punk was the best match of the night,
Yeah, yeah,
or
their match
the
was
best
long.
match of the show, period.
Yeah,
And it also felt like it was the only one that they actually got together and said, this is what we're doing beginning to end, and we're going to make this special. Orton and Cody didn't even feel special at all.
it did. Night one felt like, and honest to God, and this is no, it is a disrespect. It felt like a Raw. You could have had these matches on Raw.
I with
You
the
could
Cody
have.
and Orton thing, it was a Saturday night's main event.
I'm talking about the other matches
Oh,
on
see,
night
I
one.
was if we're taking Cody and Orton out of it, yeah, 100%
Yeah,
it was a Raw.
yeah. You could have took the other matches night one and put that on Raw.
I just
And
want to know how Sami Zayn and Trick Williams managed to make it to night two. That was 100% a night one match. I'm happy Trick won. I loved his 200 feet of toilet paper he came out with. It was great. Um, the match itself was fine.
the
It
match,
did what it needed to do.
yeah, get Trick over.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, why I ain't complaining about that match? It's because they did what they were supposed to do. A double turn happened.
Mhm.
Sammy was doing heel stuff. Trick was being Trick, and Trick was basically being cheered all through the match.
And for a celebrity being involved, Lil Yachty did exactly what you would expect a celebrity to do. They're
Yeah,
not in the match. They're not trying to hype themselves up. He was there as a plot point. He then did his thing to help Trick win as he should have. I have no issue with anything that Lil Yachty did.
nah,
I think he's a shit rapper, but as far as what he did out in the ring, I'm perfectly content with it.
yeah, me too. I watched the post show afterwards, and
I
he
did not watch
basically
any
did.
of the post stuff or
Uh,
pregame stuff.
oh yeah, I watched the post show. I ain't gonna lie to you on that one. And even at the post show, he did what he's supposed to do. Introduced Trick. Trick did his interview. He whispered something to Trick that had to go into the back and do something else. Boom.
Yeah.
Now
The
the
only
only
thing I
thing I am
saw
kind
from
of
the post
wondering,
show was that Roman said he's going to be full time until summer, which basically means he's going to lose the title at SummerSlam.
I don't think that I did. I kind of had that feeling, but it was something he said after that kind of got me thinking too. When he said, "Get through the summer, then we'll see what happened in the year." But I'm gonna go back to you, Lil Yachty. My whole thing, I'm kind of wondering is he gonna remain with Trick now throughout this his title run? Because to me,
Does he have an
uh,
album coming out anytime soon?
no, that I don't know. Well,
Then probably.
it would make sense, make them a team. But the one thing that match was missing, and I think
They're making Trick to be the Swerve Strickland of AEW, is really what it is.
they can't do that because he's not the most dangerous man in wrestling. He does has that persona, but he
Exactly.
has that charisma.
The charisma's there, and the way they've kind of hyped him up with the hype man, because
Yeah,
what's his name, Nana or whatever, using Yachty's just going to be a better version of Nana.
Yachty can't be a better version
And
of
I love the subtle jab of Tony Khan as soon as night one ended. Hey, appreciate all you guys watching Dynamite. We're on Wednesdays. You suffered through watching this. We're actually going to give you some wrestling. Like,
yeah. Um, the only thing that match was missing was Carmella Hayes.
and so I'm sitting there and I'm watching the match, the Trick Williams match, and I'm like, I'm almost glad Carmelo's not in this match because it's so boring. But I'm like, at the same time, if Carmelo was in this match, it wouldn't be boring
Hmm.
Now, in their heads, they're probably thinking we need to protect Carmelo and not have him have a loss. You could have added Sami Zayn in and kept Carmelo coming in as champion. You have Sami Zayn there to take the pin. Trick still wins the belt, and then you have your feud with Carmelo and Trick.
Well, I
There's
think
no
you're gonna
reason Carmelo should not have been in that match.
agree, but I kind of but look, we gonna get that feud now because Melo got the next shot,
Mhm.
so we're gonna get that
And that
feud.
better not be a one and done, one PLE, and we move on. Like that already has legs from NXT that you could bring over, and they really need to take it back to that level.
We got a comment here. After WrestleMania 40, Cody had two of the worst WrestleMania main events in WWE history, while Roman Reigns had two of the greatest main events in history. It should be obvious who the top star of the WWE is. I think we already know who the top. Roman never lost that spot. And thank you for commenting, Anthony. And we also got your other comment here. Cody needs to go back to the mid card. Sick with this guy. Um, now let's see that up. Anthony, like I was saying, I don't think Roman ever lost that title as the main eventer. I mean, he is the face of the company. I mean, if you ask any wrestler on the interview except Cody, Roman is the face of the company. Roman is the main eventer. Roman is the main event guy on the roster. Now he got the competition with Oba because Oba is going to be there now. But Roman never left that top spot. Yeah, Cody Rosen called himself QB1 and rightfully so, but he has not replaced Roman Reigns.
Cody sucks. Cody's always sucked.
So what you think? You think Cody should go back to the mid card?
I think Cody needs to disappear for 6 months minimum and just not be on TV because people are tired of him. The fact that he ever got the belt back from Drew is still stupid. You could have spun that story in so many different ways, and they're like, nope, let's take the easy route and put Cody back in WrestleMania. Like, I think if you paid attention to the fan chants, people are tired of Cody. Just like, when Roman won, people were chanting part timer. That's why he addressed it at the post show. And yeah, Roman is a part timer. If the Street Fighter movie hits, you probably won't see Roman, but maybe once a year, if that, maybe once every other year, because he's going to go off and do movies. But I mean, he committed to saying that he's going to be there through the summer. I would love to see Cody disappear for a long time and come back as just a full heel. But again, they seem to be too scared to dive into that. Um, there's too many guys right now that should be in the main event that don't need to be Roman. And I mean, now you have to put the belt on Oba as fast as possible.
Yeah,
Like you don't have a choice. Like you have to immediately go into Roman Reigns.
yeah. And we got another comment from Anthony Davis. The world title went from opening two manias back to back to ending night two because of Roman Reigns. Hey, Anthony, I got a question for you. Who would you like Roman's next opponent to be, in your opinion? Um, I think with Cody, the
It
reason why
has to be Roman. It can't be anybody other than Roman. If Oba went at Cody, it better be a squash match in 10 seconds.
right. Um, my thing with Cody is that Cody is still had the same gimmick that he did in AEW. He just transferred to WWE,
Well, it's
and
because
I
he's got
think
that
that's
stupid neck tattoo.
yeah, yeah, and I think that, in my personal opinion, um, it's not a refreshing. I mean, it's still it's not refreshing at all. I mean, you took your gimmick AEW and you took it to the WWE. So if you look at it, so we talking about James from 2019 to what to 23 or 22,
Yeah, I mean, he was the same guy besides when he did his little heel turn in AEW, but he
right?
was basically just the same dude.
Yeah. So we're saying well, probably about 7 years of the
Mhm.
same gimmick, not changing. Even John Cena changed up once in a while.
Well, yeah, every time John Cena would leave, he would come back. And again, it's not like you need to come back and you need to be, Tama Tonga, where all of a sudden you're 4 sizes bigger than when you were 3 months ago or something. But like, call Chris Jericho, call John Cena, figure out how to slightly change your character to make them stay relevant, to make people stay interested in you. Because I've been ripping on Cody for weeks, because it's the exact same thing every time he comes out. It's almost like you could put a robot out there and you just set up your macro that you hit your button, it runs through the two taps on the ground, kiss the ground, blah blah blah, all the stuff he does. He doesn't tweak it, he doesn't modify it. He wears that same stupid helmet every WrestleMania, just changes the color of it.
Right.
Like there's nothing unique about Cody.
Right. Um, let's see. Jacob Fatu would be cool. I agree with you on that. I would love to see Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns on Raw.
They'll get there at some
I would love
point.
to see Jacob move to Raw.
Jacob and Roman will happen, but it won't happen for the title because basically WWE's forced themselves into Oba has to beat Roman for the title.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
it'll probably move to a Roman Jacob because there's a short list of people that they want to see Roman wrestle because everybody knows Roman's on a very short timeline at this point.
Roman
It's only a
Reigns is
matter of time
41
before
years
he's
old.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I mean
40.
he's older and he's desperately trying to get into movies.
And not only that, as of last night, unless he signed his contract right afterwards, Roman Reigns does not have a contract with WWE. His contract actually was up at the end of WrestleMania. So unless they worked out something, he signed a deal, brand new deal. Roman Reigns not too much time left. So yeah, I would love to see Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. That'd be a cool match. Um, and another thing, Anthony says, so we all agree that night two next year will hundreds be Roman versus Rock or Roman versus Seth. Here's the problem with The Rock is that
I'm going with Roman versus Jacob.
at WrestleMania next year.
Hmm.
Okay. Here's the problem with The Rock. We already know The Rock got to offer a blank check, boatload of money by the Saudis to wrestle at WrestleMania next year. The problem is that he hasn't committed yet. We don't know if he committed or he said no. We don't know. He's not going to say anything. And if he's going to do a program with Roman, it has to start now. He can't. It can't wait. He can't be at Survivor Series. It has to start between now and SummerSlam.
It'd have to because he wouldn't be around enough to make
Right.
it relevant, and Roman's not enough of a talker to be able to carry both sides of a story.
Right. So we won't know that The Rock will let everybody know whenever he gets around to telling us. But that's I would love to see The Rock versus Roman. That should have happened back in 39, 40, but we didn't get it. Seth versus Roman. I think we're gonna get that, but I don't think we're gonna get it at next year's WrestleMania. That itself might should be a title match.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they give up on that because there's too many young guys that they need to move in to the main event spot. Because I mean, think about we've talked about it before on previous shows. Look at the age of their main eventers right now. Basically, your entire main event scene is over 40.
Yeah. Um, Roman versus Jacobs not a main event.
Now that Jacob's back, they have an entire year to build Jacob into
Yeah.
that spot.
Yeah.
And Jacob's already over to begin with, so they don't have to work all that hard.
Mm-mm. Jacobs the guy where you can actually put the title on Jacob right now and let him run with next year's WrestleMania, and I guarantee you those ratings, everything on SmackDown would be up.
That and the more they let Jacob talk,
Yeah.
it's going to build up because the dude can talk.
Yeah.
The fact that they brought him in as like this feral making a bunch of barking noises was ridiculous for that whole MFT thing.
Yeah. Um. Hey, look, I'm a Jacob Fatu fan. If it was up to me personally, I had Jacob start his own faction. Look, if I'm Jacob, I want Wolfpack. I'm just putting that out
No,
there.
I would look at it totally opposite. If I'm Jacob, I would lean into that. I'm a one man gang and just take on everybody and really lean into that and be like that. This is the first time that Roman actually wrestled a match that was meaningful that didn't have bloodline behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do the same thing with Jacob. Just build him up as that polar opposite of what Roman was.
Let's see. That's why I say, hey, Anthony, give us a third option. What does he say? I mean, like her or not, Roman. See, that's not the problem of Roman being in every main event until he retires. Is that who they're gonna put with Roman in the main event? because Roman's getting older, so you want to put him with somebody who can actually hold the end of the bargain and carry the matches with Roman.
The benefit that Roman has is that he's not a wrestler, he's a striker.
Mm-hmm.
So he can go longer because it's not like you're going to notice that, oh, he's not doing this move anymore because it's too much work or it's too taxing on him or anything like that. It's punches, kicks, a guillotine, a spear, a
Yeah,
Superman punch, and that's basically it.
yeah,
The
yeah,
occasional like sidewalk slam.
yeah. That's why Roman can probably go up to you by like in his late 40s. That's why when he says CM Punk is old, it's because the stuff we see CM Punk does, it's a wear and tear on his body compared to Roman Reigns.
Well,
Roman
that and he
Reigns is
doesn't do a
not.
lot of the moves he used to do. Period.
Right.
So that's
Roman,
that's why the old comment kind of worked.
yeah. Legit, only option next year is either Roman versus Rock, Roman versus Cell, or finish a trilogy against Stardust. Actually, that's why I disagree with you. I think there is other options because Roman actually put it out there. He said a long time ago, "Hey, this was that Seymour promo when he said that Punk could go down NXT, train some of those guys, train some of the guys and break them up so I could just take them out."
Hmm.
There's a lot of options out there, man. If
Well,
if WWE really wanted to, they can do Oba versus Oba versus Roman next year at WrestleMania for a
they
second
can't wait
match.
that long for
I'm
Oba.
talking about for a second match.
But again, let's take Roman Reigns as an example. They can shove anybody down your throat and make them a star.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is a primary example of that. No matter how much people didn't want to see Roman Reigns, Vince McMahon shoved him down your throat. And when it still wasn't working, what did he do? He gave him Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman made him a star.
Mm-hmm. And
So
yeah,
they have a full year to build up anybody that they would want to put against Roman. The Rock, if it was The Rock, it would have to be something as bad as what Goldberg Lesnar was, where it was a squash match in like 30 seconds. Because Rock ain't gonna be able to move around. The dude's gonna be what, 58,
56. Let's
56
see.
by next
Let's
year?
see.
Like, dude ain't gonna
Uh,
be moving around too smooth out there. And again, he was a little bit more of a, spine buster, people's elbow, things like that. Like, I don't think he's gonna be trying to lift up Roman
he
and
he
doing
would
spine
be
busters.
he would be 55.
Okay,
No,
so
actually no, excuse. He'll be 54 coming around next year WrestleMania. So even we seen him at WrestleMania, the tag team match. It was the tag team match was about 30 minutes. He did about 10 minutes worth of work. He was done.
mhm, yeah, but I don't know. It gives him a
Yeah,
full year.
yeah, yeah. The right there put on a good match on WrestleMania 4. He was in the tag team match.
It gives them a full year to build
Yeah.
anybody up that they want. And again, if they really want to push somebody, they'll just shove them down your throat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the reason why nobody want to see Roman versus, as you say, Stardust trilogy, because I think we know how that's gonna play out. And the simple fact that I don't think nobody wants to see it because nobody don't really care for it.
I have no interest in ever seeing Roman and Cody wrestle each other ever again.
That will cause a riot.
Like, they need to be hardcore focusing on developing new main event guys. Whatever they're going to do with Braun Breaker, obviously Braun Breaker Seth is going to be the next thing going into SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You've still got to figure out Ilya Dragunov. You've got to figure out Carmelo Hayes. There's too many guys that should be in the main event
Mm-hmm.
already,
Mm-hmm.
circling around that they're just not doing anything with.
Um. Yeah. Look, I'd rather see Roman versus Braun Breaker if I see Roman versus Cody again. And I know that Roman Braun Breaker match is not going to be very long because both these guys kind of got the same skill set.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. But I like Roman's better. Um, that's if there's one disappointment, and I had a lot of them, but one of them that stand out to me was that Dragunov was in Andre the Giant Battle Royal on Friday night, where you could literally Could have put this guy on the WrestleMania card. I think if you put him on night one, that night one card might be a little bit that much better. I don't know. Maybe I should be like, hey, I'm kind of glad he was on night one WrestleMania because they might would have fucked it up.
I mean, Ilya to me is still the biggest potential out of all the crop of guys that are going to be future main eventers. Ilya still has the most potential out of all of them.
I kind
And
of
the
agree with
fact
that.
that they're not, they've had his moves be no sold multiple times since Royal Rumble, and it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
From getting the chops and everything from Lesnar or to Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, where he just shook him off like nothing, to I forget who did it on SmackDown a couple times, but like I don't know what they intend to do with this guy.
No, I don't either, and I don't like how they're using the guy. Look, I've been saying this since we did this show. Dragunov has a built-in storyline with Gunther. Gunther put
Mhm.
him out for a year with an injury. He need to get his receipt back. Gunther and Dragunov have some of the best matches in the WWE. In the
Yeah,
WWE, Gunther was feuding with Dragon. Gunther was Dragunov was feuding with Gunther and what's his name Kaiser.
yeah,
That was one of the best feuds on Raw, and he was holding it down. You move him to SmackDown, you get him the United States Championship, which probably was the best call to make because he should have been had a championship when he was on Raw. He should have been Intercontinental Champion around that time. And you made him the storyline you gave him was do an open challenge match.
yeah. They were actually starting to do something, building up a little feud with Carmelo and him, and then you throw the whole thing in with Sami Zayn, and then it's like, okay, well now Carmelo has nothing to do, Ilya has nothing to do, just so you can get this guy that's had every opportunity in the world to do everything. Nobody likes Sami Zayn. Like nobody does.
Hey, before you expand on that, Anthony comment on something, man. I'm gonna let you run with it. This is out of my category. This is out of my category.
I just won't even watch if that would end up being. God,
I told you
oh,
this is not my category.
that's that would be so bad.
uh,
That would be
Andy, man, I
so
wish I had a
bad.
comment, but that's not in my category, man. That's out of my pay range.
You,
That's his
you,
pay range.
you talk about the worst match for WrestleMania was that tag match on night one. Like, there was no point. Like, if there was ever a match that should have been on Raw, or better yet, Sunday Night Heat, that was that tag match with Show Speed. If Jay was younger, it would make sense, but basically, since they're so close in age, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. If it was like Solo, as much as I don't want to say that because I don't think Solo's any good, it would make more sense for Solo and Roman for the Ulafala than it would be for Jay.
Man, I had no comment on it.
Again, if Jay came out tonight with a whole new move set and actually showed like he might actually have a clue about wrestling moves, I'd probably like him. But whoever told him to start using a spear, it still makes no sense. He's overhated because I spend all my time hating on him. Yes, can't stand Jey
Uh,
Uso.
I have no comment on that one, man. I don't, cause I, I, I had nothing against Jey Uso, and I just think about how they gave him a 30-day title run.
51, 51.
I also counted the Intercontinental title too.
Oh, okay.
You
Um,
can you can say
I
51
think
on it.
even WWE has realized that people are completely over because again, they were having them come out just to hype the crowd up during Raws, not even having them wrestle. It's like go out there and do what we need you to do, hype the crowd up, and then just go away for a while.
I'm gonna say this.
I miss Kevin Owens too. I miss Kevin
Yeah,
Stein more. If we could get Kevin Stein in the WWE, that would be amazing.
And we miss Kevin Owens, and SmackDown miss Kevin Owens too. Um,
I mean, we need a full Kevin Owens just being Kevin Stein and getting the title.
they won't let that
That would
happen.
that would change SmackDown for the far better.
They won't let that happen.
No, they won't let it happen. I mean, they won't even let him use half of Kevin Stein's move set that he used to
No,
do.
no. They ain't gonna let that happen. That means they have to go from PG to PG-13.
100%. But that's what would make the show good.
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's why I stopped watching wrestling for so long because it was all these PG stories.
Yeah. Um, Anthony, I just want to say this, man. When it comes to Jey Uso, when Triple H take him serious, I'll take him serious. And I like the Uso. If they want to take him serious, they will never give him a title run that combined for 51 days with two of the top titles on Raw.
Well, again, it's like I've said before. WWE knows what they have with Jey Uso. Jey Uso is the hottest thing in the entire company until he gets in the ring.
Yeah.
Once he gets in the ring, it all falls apart. He's got arguably the best theme song. He gets the crowd the most hype. The only one that competes on getting the crowd hype is Trick Williams. But the difference is people are still excited when Trick gets in the ring. People lose excitement when Jey gets in the ring.
Now I want to go back to what you were saying 2 days ago and today. You said if Oba beats Brock, he has to go right to the main event scene. It can't be, well, we're gonna take our time. We're gonna work our way up there. No, he has to go there right away. He's in it. He got to go to the main event scene, especially when
Not
he
just
cut.
main event. He
Yeah,
needs his basically within
he's
his
with the
next two
title,
matches, he needs to have the title.
especially the promo he cut on Roman Reigns at the post show, and they asked
Mhm.
him what's next, and we had the crowd cheering, hyping up, champion, champion, champion. Um, yeah, he put it out there. He wants Roman at the end of the year.
And like I told you through text message, like Oba can talk.
Yeah,
Oba can talk just fine, but he needs Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman will make him legendary. Where Oba by himself, people will be like, "Oh, I liked Oba. Oba was great." Heyman has that ability to take him over the top. And if you wanted to work in a story, you could have Heyman drop Braun
no,
for
you got
Oba.
him to drop the Vision, not just Braun.
Well,
The
I think
Vision.
the vision is done. I
Yeah,
think the vision is basically just Theory and Logan Paul are just going to go off and do their tag team thing. He might stay with Braun for a little bit, but if you're trying to do anything to keep Braun Breaker relevant, because this injury came at like the worst time that it possibly could for Braun Breaker, because Oba has only shot up, and now you beat Brock. It's only a natural progression, and it only makes sense for Paul Heyman to align himself with Oba. And again, if you really want Oba to be the future of the company, I don't think there's any real concern of Oba going off and being a movie star in the next 5 years.
no,
So if I'm WWE, I'm giving him the biggest chance to go to the moon as possible, and that is getting him with Heyman. Because Heyman can make anybody sound like a monster.
yeah, and I kind of thought Amy was kind of allude to that in our promo interaction with Oba. Hey, my door is always open to
Hmm.
Oba, bend me, and
But
I
then at
kind
the
of
same
thought,
time, if you wanted to wait for it, have Oba wrestle Roman, beat Roman. Now you've taken out two of Heyman's former guys, so this would solidify for Heyman storyline wise. I have to be with this guy, and then he could just dump Braun, and now you at least have something to pivot to from him beating Roman to now he's got Braun Breaker.
yeah,
Now, once you
uh,
get past Braun Breaker, you really don't have a whole lot left for him, and that's going to be the problem.
yeah, this was this was bad for Braun Breaker. If I had to pick a loser,
I
because
told you that weeks ago.
yeah,
This was the worst thing that could happen to him.
yeah, this is a huge loss for Braun Breaker because not only he was out with a hernia injury and he got clear late, but the simple fact that Oba got called up, looked dominant, beat Brock Lesnar, and now he basically overjumped Brown and took the spot that Brown was supposed to have. Triple H. I mean, think about it. Triple H treated this match like a main event
Mhm.
because it was Oba and Brock. The many times since Breaker been called up, he has never put Braun Breaker in a position to be in the main event. And when he did, we get CM Punk in the title match, and they didn't want to pull the trigger, and they let Punk go over Braun Breaker. Now you can go take it both ways. You can criticize that move, or you can say they did the right thing. But at the end of the day, on the biggest stage, of professional wrestling, Oba Femi won over the locker room and won over the crowd. He is the next mega main eventer. Braun Breaker is going to have to start from the beginning, work back from his injury because he's not. He just got halfway cleared, so he's not fully 100% cleared. So Braun Breaker really gonna be starting all over again. Paul Heyman will be starting all over again with the division, rebuild them back up and try to make them credible. In which I kind of think, like you said, it's too late. Once Bronson Reed went out, that was it.
Having the Vision lose at WrestleMania it just tells me that you have no interest in going along with the Vision anymore.
No,
Because there
that,
was no reason whatsoever that the Usos and LA Knight should have won. There was no
no.
reason.
If you want to play that, okay, well, LA Knight needed this win. Okay, I can roll with it, but I also roll with that. Hey, LA Knight should just be in a single match then if he needed that win
If
back.
that was your logic that LA Knight needed a win, then he should have had a solo match.
Right. He could have fought. He could have fought either Austin Theory or he could have fought Logan Paul,
Mm-hmm.
or just put him, or even better, maybe he could just start up another storyline with him against somebody else, and he could have got a win because he needed it bad. Yes, he did, but what was the point?
It
He
just to me there was no point in having that match whatsoever. Basically, you gave I Show Speed a glorified
he just won the
spot.
moment, just won in the
Yeah,
moment.
and who cares? Half the world doesn't even know who you are. I didn't know who you were.
Well,
Again, I don't sit and watch YouTube all day,
no,
but I didn't know who he was. I thought he was KSI. I thought KSI and I Show Speed were the same person for a while.
nah, man. This goes back to the WWE when it comes to these YouTubers. It's not for you and me, Jamie. They not trying to get our attention. They trying to get the younger viewers because that's who they watch. Everyone from the was it
That's what you have Danhausen for.
10 to
Danhausen is going to
21.
make a far bigger impact than I Show Speed is going to do for you.
Is Dan House is not that popular big on YouTube. As far as bigger than ISO speed, he's not.
No,
Logan
no,
Paul,
not when it
no,
comes to that. But again,
no.
who
But Dan,
cares?
yeah, yeah. But hey, man, this is the route they want to go. I don't agree with it, but this is what they want to do. Um, yeah. So if I'm Paul Heyman, do I really want to start from scratch with the vision? Or maybe it's time me to dish them and I just tag along with Opa. Because he literally he would have to rebuild Braun Breaker back.
Mm-hmm.
He you can't just put Braun Breaker in there, okay, we're gonna finish where we left off. No. Once his feud is over with Seth Rollins, he cannot go to the main event scene. He would have
That's
to
why I'm
literally
saying
rebuild.
Heyman should stay with Braun Breaker until Oba beats Roman for the title, and then you have Braun and Oba go and have it by it could be the catalyst of Heyman just flat out drops Braun Breaker. That's the
Mhm.
catalyst to set up the feud
Yeah. I would. He hasn't
because
stayed with him now because of the Seth Rollins situation. He hasn't stayed
right.
with him now.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, it works because it'll
Yeah.
give Braun a chance to get somewhat, credible and get back. But again, are you really going to have Seth Rollins lose two feuds in a row? No,
No. No.
they're too
He
scared to do
got
that.
choked out by Gunther. He got choked out by Gunther, and there's no way in the world that he's gonna lose to Braun Breaker. And don't get I think this is the type of match is gonna be you can have multiple matches out of this. I
Mm-hmm.
think the end of this match is gonna be at SummerSlam. It might
Yeah,
be a gimmick match. It might be a steel cage match. It might be a Hell in a Cell match. Whatever it
they
is,
love
that's
Hell
it's
in the
gonna
Cell
be.
matches for Seth Rollins, so that's probably what it would end up being. But And even out of all this, you could use it as a way to make Gunther credible again and get him wrapped up. After you finish with Braun Breaker, you could get Gunther wrapped up with Oba, which at that point, Oba would need to lose because you
Yeah,
need Gunther. Gunther has to look strong, and they haven't done anything, even beating Seth Rollins. Who cares?
yeah. So, so you said for Gunther, his next feud should be Oba.
No, I'm saying for that's like 6 months, 9 months down the road.
So you think about okay,
Gunther right now, that's the problem. There's no direction. Like they have to establish something tonight to give him some direction because cool, you won a feud that you started 2 weeks ago that
right,
you really have no personal involvement in. What now?
right,
So
right,
tonight better be interesting when it comes to Gunther.
right. There's one thing I gotta say before I say what I want to say about Gunther. Um, if they wanted, what they should have done was ran back the Usos versus the Vision for the tag team titles and had the Vision win that match instead of making a 6-man tag team match because it makes
Hmm.
more sense because the Vision beat the Usos. They have a story. Usos want their titles back and they lose. So you further line the Usos story.
Who has the tag titles right now? Why am I drawing a blank on this?
The Vision,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, the Vision had the tag team titles. You put them versus the Usos at night one. That would probably have been a better match. The Visions go over the, in that process. The Usos, you further out their storyline because when I read something about they trying to bring back the original bloodline, so you further their story. And I am gonna say I am surprised that they didn't come out and be with Roman, but I'm glad they didn't because now
I
Roman
think
legitimately
they
said that now you can't say that Roman he did it on his own.
that's why I was going to say
Yeah,
is I think they actually had to show because people like me, that's the biggest knock. Oh, Roman had the best title run of all time. No, he didn't. He had one of the worst title runs of all time. But now he actually had a match where it's like you could say, yeah, it's scripted, all that stuff, but he won a match on his own. He
yeah,
won a very big match on his own
his
with
own.
nobody getting involved.
Yeah. So now let's go back. Now it's Gunther gonna get this conversation going with Gunther because of what happened with Brock Lesnar. And right now they did it in with Triple H. He can't confirm anything right now if Brock retired or not. He doesn't know. He said he hasn't had that conversation with them. But let's say that yesterday was Brock's last match. Now you have to scrap that storyline between Brock and Gunther. You had to scrap it.
Hmm.
So now when you look at it is that Triple H has an opportunity to do something good with it. He can actually spin this and say the favor is going to be now is I want a title shot with Roman.
Hmm.
It's the only logic thing that makes sense after that. I did a favor for you. You got some pull. Now I want a title shot against Roman.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do that because they know they've got to put that belt on Oba as fast as possible. They're not going to do it at Backlash. Backlash is not a big enough. It'll be SummerSlam. They set up a match where it is Gunther versus Roman, but Roman's going to win that match
Yes.
unless it's at SummerSlam.
Yes.
But again, you run the fine line of Gunther is supposed to be your biggest heel, and he hasn't done anything. Cool, he beat Seth Rollins 2 nights ago. It doesn't do anything for him.
Nah,
Like
cause
he's had some big wins, but they're all meaningless big wins.
yeah,
And you've built a gimmick that isn't sustainable because there's not enough people retiring.
yeah. To me, what they did was that you just really kind of correct a mistake that Gunther and Rollins should have happened last year
Hmm.
at SummerSlam. But you wanted Punk versus Gunther, where it should have been Rollins versus Gunther last SummerSlam. So you just really corrected a mistake y'all made last year, in which it don't make sense to me. But yeah, I mean now, what do you always say? you book yourself into a you book yourself into a creative disaster because now Gunther really has nothing to do,
Hmm.
and he's your top heel.
Yep.
How's your top heel has nothing to do? That's like
And
Drew
he,
McIntyre.
yeah, you got to figure out what you're going to do with Drew now.
You got to figure out what you can do with both of them.
Well, yeah, 100%.
What you gonna do? You gonna make Braun Breaker a face and Gunther take his place? I'm just saying.
I mean, unless they ran something like that where they kicked Braun out of the Vision, but then
That
that
don't make
kind of
sense.
kills the entire heat for Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. That would basically
Or
kill all the heat for that.
or is Gunther replacing Brock Lesnar as the or the what the not the Wiseman, but is he replacing
Advocate.
Brock? Yeah,
Well, and that's where I thought they were going to go with it at first, because what do I keep saying? Gunther needs a mouthpiece.
yeah,
Gunther's great until he talks.
hmm
And then it's like, okay, yeah, this doesn't work.
yeah. So
But
that could
he's
be
not going
another
to get Ludwig
spin.
Kaiser back because Ludwig's too busy in AAA.
Yeah,
But it would make sense. But it also, going on what they want to do with Oba and Heyman's trajectory in WWE, he only works with the biggest monster guys.
hmm
And that's Oba now. It's not Gunther. It had an opportunity to be Gunther, but it's not anymore. It's Oba.
yeah,
And he's not going to work with both of them at the same time.
yeah. Let me look something up here because there was something that kind of was brought to my attention on night one, and I forgot about this. Um, yes, Gunther is 38 years old.
Mhm.
He'll be 39 in August. It ain't like he's young. You can say what you want. This guy does not have a lot of time. I mean, don't get me wrong. His
Well, in
style of wrestling,
WrestleMania years, he's got another 10 years and he's still a main eventer. I mean, look at who was in the main event this year.
yeah.
48 years old.
But I'm saying though, like, if he wants to go that long,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between if Gunther was a 29-year-old compared to a guy who's about to be 39.
Hmm. Absolutely.
You know, skills start to diminish in your 40s.
Hmm.
I'm just
Look at
putting it
CM
out there.
Punk.
Punk, Rock, Flair, Hogan, Nash, Hall, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Now I need to keep going. Some of the best in this business started losing their skill sets in their 40s, and they gotta reduce work or the different move set. And Gunther is a power guy. He's a technical power guy in my opinion. He's a power guy, but he can beat you so many ways. You got to take
Gunther's a
advantage
lot
of.
like Randy Orton. He wrestles extremely safe.
He
So I don't think
does.
there's a lot to worry about with Gunther as far as like, oh, you're going to hurt yourself doing this. Besides, like, he takes a fall just the wrong way and cracks a hip or something. Like, he's too young for all that anyway.
Right,
But I
but
don't
when
think
I'm
it's not like Rey Mysterio doing like lucha moves in his late 40s or something.
yeah, when I'm saying that he's a 6'5", 6'6" guy, but he's a technical wrestling type of guy.
Hmm.
Like he can flat out wrestle. But what I'm saying is that this guy is 39 years old. Don't waste your time BSing him around. Get him something to get him involved in something because he's your top heel. You can make a case he's your top heel in the entire company. That's how good he is. Don't waste it because he has
He
nothing to do
should
right.
be, but he's number two because he's just not as good as Drew.
Yeah, I mean, look, him and Drew, they disappointed me how they used Drew and Gunther. They have your
Hmm.
two top heels. You have nothing to do, and then when you use them, you don't use them right.
Well, it's
These two
just
guys should
like
not be losing big matches.
your heels have to have love. You have to spend more time with your heels than you do your faces. It's like comic books. Why does everybody love Batman? Is it because Batman's just so cool? No, it's because you have the Joker. You've got Poison Ivy. You've got these really badass bad guys that make the good guy look that much better. The same thing goes. What is wrestling is basically just live action comic books for the most part.
Yeah, it is.
You need Gunther to look like a monster. You need Drew to look like a monster. How many other true heels do you have in WWE right now?
You have none. You have none. You can't say Randy Orton because Randy Orton just became a heel, but they don't treat him as a heel because he's still getting cheered by the crowd.
Yeah,
Only
and
Drew.
and even now you had Cody doing the eye pokes and everything. They might be trying to turn Cody heel, which would in turn basically make Orton a face. But clearly, after the Punk kick and everything, they're not going to go that route. The way that whole match played out, if all that went down that way just to get Pat McAfee out of the situation, it was handled terribly. And again, I don't need to watch Orton and Cody go another match or two. Like the match was pretty boring. They threw a little blood in there to make it interesting, but even then, it almost looked like paint because it wasn't moving until the very end of the match after the Punk kick. Like it was just like blotched there on Randy's forehead. Like it didn't do anything. But
It was like that with Cody, but then it got once it got in his hair, I'm like,
yeah, well, it's the same
yeah.
thing. Any of those bleach blonde guys, it always looks 10 times worse than it is. But I'm not interested in watching them go for another 2 or 3 matches.
I heard something they were saying that maybe Triple H decided to hit the reset button on this feud. That's why they got the RKO on Pat McAfee,
Well, it's
and
because they
now we're
wanted to
gonna
get
get
Pat McAfee out of the feud because
yeah,
they could see it wasn't working already.
yeah, and
Which at
maybe
least the saving grace of that is I shouldn't have to tolerate a jelly roll Cody Rhodes, Pat McAfee Orton match
tag team
at
match, yeah.
Backlash.
And now they're saying that we're gonna get the proper storytelling from Cody and Roman. I mean Cody and Randy. It should have been like that from day one.
Yeah.
Once they was it should have been a proper storytelling. I'm on this one, Jamie. Now I think about it 2020. I wish Randy would never won the Elimination Chamber. I wish he had won the Royal Rumble. Because now we might have got a proper story told between Randy and Cody going up to WrestleMania instead of going through the chamber where they just didn't really tell the story at all. They just kind of fiddled around. If Randy would have won the Royal Rumble, we might got a proper story told. Because if you look at it, Roman and Punk, it didn't need a lot of time because that was already a story being told right there, but it didn't need that build up from the Royal Rumble all up to WrestleMania to tell that story. That story was being told over years.
Mm-hmm.
All they could have used the Elimination Chamber just rekindled that.
Yeah, and I mean, all the steam that story had is now dead.
Yeah,
Like they
Punk
had
Punk's not gonna get
something,
a rematch.
that they could have done really special. Like I said on one of the last 2 shows that we did, it's either going to be something that they could turn into something magical, and then Triple H can say, "Look, I told you all I was a genius, even though we know you're not. You just kind of walked into it," or it's something he's going to screw up. You screwed it up. Like they were saying that they already had Cody set to win the match regardless of the Pat McAfee thing, which
No,
I
they
believe
didn't.
because they don't want Cody to have short title runs, which again is complete crap. I can't tell you anybody I know that watches wrestling that still gets excited to see Cody Rhodes come out. I'm telling you, I fully believe that the noise when he comes out is piped in crowd noise. Because even when he's wrestling,
Nah, man.
nobody's cheering. They were cheering more for Orton than they were when he came out.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, it goes back to Cody. I'm not gonna. It goes back to Cody and Triple H, the refusal of to change up,
Mm-hmm.
change it up. And that's Cody. That's a huge Cody problem, but that's a Triple H problem too because Triple H got this. He's so fascinated. Cody is this guy. He don't want him to change, bro. You had to change. You know what I'm saying? When he was a professional wrestler, he had to change a little bit some of him.
Let's just put it
Cody
this
needs
way.
to do
In
that.
my opinion, Triple H didn't do nearly enough to save his job. He still needs to go.
I think that that's probably the opinion of everybody.
Mhm.
Look, night one is going to be forecast as Triple H dropped the ball. Night one last year, Triple H dropped the ball.
Mhm.
That's what it's going to be. But in reality, we all know night one of both WrestleMania last year was heavily influenced by TKO. And it's kind of like you said, TKO ain't finna take the blame for this. For what?
No, they own the
You.
company. They just deflect
Right.
the blame to whoever they want.
Yeah, it's your fault. You the one who's in charge of the writing, creative. This is your fault.
And again, if Triple H was doing a barn burner job, would they be getting involved? No.
Someone has said, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Jim Ross. I don't know if it was Coach. But one of them said that if this was Vince and they tried to interfere, Vince will never let that happen. It because they respect Vince, they fear Vince.
I preferred wrestling when Vince was in charge. A, you didn't deal with all the stupid advertising. How is the General and Slim Jim? Now, I get Slim Jim to a degree. They've been with you forever. But how are they your two biggest sponsors? For a company that is so money grubby and so greedy, how are those your biggest sponsors? How have you not gotten McDonald's, Nike, anybody that actually has money? You're telling me the General is the biggest that you can pull? And you know it's the
Man,
biggest because they have the biggest decals. And I don't know
man,
if you've heard, Logan Paul has actually gotten very vocal. I don't watch his podcast, but I saw the clips. He's actually been criticizing WWE because the guys keep slipping on the mat because of those stupid decals.
yeah. Um, I just want to know why these commercials are 60% of your show. That's all I want to know.
Well, it's the premise of McDonald's is the world's largest toy distributor. They're not in the business of serving food. They're in the business of pushing toys. WWE is just basically going to be in the business of marketing distribution. We're giving you a platform to pay us money to put your advertisements out there.
Oh, money to pay off your debt. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. And WrestleMania proved that when you have almost minute for minute as many commercials as you do wrestling, that's a problem. And if we take the actual entrances out of it, you had more commercial time than you had actual wrestling match time. If you add the entrances in, then the entrances with the matches had a few more minutes than commercials. But if you take the entrances out, you had more commercial time.
Yeah. So this morning I had read something that ESPN was satisfied with WrestleMania. I'm gonna say I'm gonna disagree with that because they blocked one of ESPN
Yeah.
journalists from even being part of WrestleMania because you know that if he would got told on night one, he would get him a failing grade. I'm just
Well, yeah,
saying
that's hey guys, we shit the bed. Like the show hasn't even aired yet, and we know this shit sucks. So
they
we
knew
don't
night
need
one was
you
gonna
coming in
suck
here
bad.
talking about it because we're already going to have everybody on the internet telling us how bad it is. But we don't care because we need to collect this advertisement money.
But hey, ESPN was also part of that advertising too. They was part of the advertising money too, so they got what they needed. They got their
Yeah.
money back.
Well, I sent you the one video. The dude they kicked him out before the show started, and
Yeah,
he
I
had
seen
like
that.
front row or second row seats,
Yeah,
and he's politely asking security like, "What did we do?" Even now he did a follow-up video. He's like, I didn't have any posters. He's like, I didn't interact with anybody. He's like, I have no clue why they kicked me out. And like the security is like, this isn't us kicking you out. WWE has requested you be removed from the premises. This has nothing to do with Allegiant Stadium. We just want to be clear. This is because of WWE. You're being removed. Like, are you guys that petty? Like, is your ego that sensitive that you can't handle anything? Like that just tells me if I ever show up to one of their events that I've probably already been like red flagged in some system that they're going to revoke a ticket or something because I talk so bad about them. But again, they suck. So
wait a minute. If you've been red flag and you talk bad on this show, that means I've
You're
been red flag.
probably guilty by association.
We gotta
I
take
told you.
IDs.
I told you a long time ago. You just need to basically give up on ever going to any WWE events.
Because of you, right? And
Yeah,
that's
but I'm
okay.
sure we could probably get into Maple Leaf. We can get into AEW. They're still
Yeah,
good
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I know,
And at
I
least if we
know.
go to those, we can actually watch wrestling matches instead of, hanging out at the concession booth for an hour.
Yeah, I know we good with them. I know we good with them. All right, guys. That's the show for today. Tune in to Raw. I am a little.
We'll do a follow up because we didn't touch on as much stuff as I thought we would. We still have plenty of other matches to talk about, but we'll
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
mix it
yeah,
up on
yeah,
the
yeah.
next show with Raw,
Yeah,
and, and we'll
we'll be back tomorrow. We just, you know,
yeah.
just we need to get some stuff off the chest because night one kind of pissed everybody and me, and especially me because I was at work trying to watch night one. And I'm not gonna tell you who my job is, but then y'all need to fix the Wi-Fi. I'm tired of every. You know what, man? I'm trying to watch this, and I was seeing the same thing all over again like 5 minutes ago, and then it just stopped. Fix the Wi-Fi.
Working hard,
But yeah,
working
yeah.
hard.
But with that, we'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the show, and be prepared for what happens on Raw tonight because it's gonna be a mystery. And with that said, don't expect nothing too exciting because
Danhausen versus Cody. Let's go.
here we go. All right, everybody. It's been the Signature Finisher Podcast. We're up out of here. Peace.
Later.